Welcome everyone to another informative travel market report webinar brought to you by our very good friends at BranchUp. Thank you so much for joining us today. We know how busy you are and we really truly appreciate your time. I promise you this is going to be worth the hour that you're going to spend with us. My name is Brian Israel. I'll be your moderator for today and I'm the publisher of Travel Market Report. In just a few short moments, I'll be turning it over to Michelle Pinard from BranchUp and Shelby Frenette, owner of TravelFun.Biz, for an in-depth look at the BranchUp social media marketing platform, where we're going to see how personalized free Facebook and LinkedIn marketing will help you build rapport with your fans and generate business. But before we begin, just a couple things to keep in mind. We will be raffling off one $300 gift card at the end of the webinar to one lucky winner. But as you all know, you must be on the webinar when we do the drawing at the end. So stick with us. Again, I promise it's going to be worth your time. And as always, we want this to be an interactive session. So we are going to do a live Q&A once Michelle and Shelby are done with their presentation. Please, as they are presenting, send in any questions or comments that you have for either Michelle or Shelby. We'll get to as many as we can at the end of the presentation. Please don't worry if we don't get to your question or your comment. Either Michelle or Shelby will get back to you shortly. And lastly, we will be recording the webinar. We will be sending you a link to the recording, so you don't have to write down notes furiously. We're gonna, you'll have an opportunity to go back into the webinar to write down anything that you may have missed. We will be hosting on TravelMarketReport.com for a full year, so it'll be there for a long time. And we just ask that you send this over to any of your colleagues or peers that you think this might be great for. Again, everybody's busy and can't always make certain webinars during the week. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Michelle and Shelby.
Wow, thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. And hello, everyone. So let me thank you, Brian and Lewis, who's behind the scenes, for inviting us to share the insights on BranchUp and social media, and in particular, our platform. For today, we're doing something a little different. We've enlisted the help of one of our members, and I'm thrilled to introduce, as Brian mentioned, Shelby Frenette. She's a well-respected travel influencer and a valued member of the BranchUp membership. And Shelby has been an active BranchUp user for over 2 years now, and serves also as an advisor on our advisory board, providing us with some really important expertise to help us continually enhance our platform. So just a little background on Shelly. As you can see here, she's hosted over 500 cruises, so she's a cruise queen. She is formerly with Princess Cruises as a director for 8 years, and she cultivates social media in particular with travel. As a recognized influencer in the travel community, she is the face behind Solo Travel Expert, where she motivates and empowers people to explore the world. In addition to, she's a host of her own travel agency that has thrived and dedicated to specifically to social media marketing. It's one of the key reasons we invited her to be on the advisor board. Shelly's going to share some of her knowledge with us today as well. And again, as Brian mentioned, if you have any questions, please put them over to me or to Shelly, and we'll get to you at the end of the program. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Shelby.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to talk social with all of these amazing agents, guys. We're gonna just get that big pipeline going and get you some more leads.
Perfect. We're all on the same track. Okay, so just a little bit about BranchUp. In case you don't know it, we actually started the company in 2015, and we started it in Canada, and we spent 2 years honing the product and getting it working perfectly before we launched into the US, because we know the US are a little more particular. Canada are good at being beta people. So we got everything done and cooked and baked in Canada, and then in 2018 moved down to the US, and since then it's been a major success story. Now, one of the reasons it's a success is because we have behind us everybody who works here as a travel advisor or has been in the in the travel business, either in the advisor or the supplier end of the market. So we know all about the business, so we know how to attack it. Our mission, basically, as you can see here, we want to make it turnkey for everybody. We want you to have the tours to empower you, to make you really smart, and we want to become the go-to community for you for the, and because breast, best of breed, simple, automatic, and free. So travel professionals love us, and I think this is probably a good place for Shelby to step in.
Yeah, so we do love you. I mean, I've been really obsessed with this platform because I'm always looking for ways to streamline my business. And this is almost like a marketing hand that you have, an assistant almost, I would call it, for social media. They do automatic posting, and it's really done from soup to nuts. It's a one-stop shop. It definitely generates leads and bookings. For example, one of my top agents, has never really doesn't do much on LinkedIn at all, but she has it set up so that both Facebook and LinkedIn do the auto posting through BranchUp. And she received an email from one of her old clients that she hadn't talked to in years. And she said, and I quote, "I'm so glad you posted all that stuff about Antarctica. I want to book Antarctica." She got on a call, and truly just from those BranchUp auto postings, that's what planted the seed. She received an $80,000 booking. Now that's not typical, but that is what happened, and it does generate leads that are smaller than that too. But I always come back to that one because it truly was effortless, and we're all looking for more leads. And how do we get those leads, right? We have to keep people educated, entertained, and curious. So the other thing that BranchUp does is it builds rapport and grows the fan base. And I like to speak to that because rapport on social media is so different than any other place, because people think about being on social media as being a different situation than being in person. But really, when you think about social psychology, when people see a post that you have posted and they see your profile picture pop up there, every time they see your profile picture, there is like a psychological rapport that is built. You're more familiar. So that is one of the best things about having these auto posting tools. It's just a great way to continuously be present in people's mind, and it really does build rapport with people without even realizing it or trying. It is all automatic, and you don't need a special skill set or anything. This is the most user-friendly platform that I have ever used, and I think I've used them all at one point or another. This is just truly a one-stop shop for social media posting, and it's free to join. So to me, it's a no-brainer, and I tell everybody that this is totally sweeping the nation for travel agents. I have all of my agents using it. I truly believe in this from the bottom of my heart, and when they asked me to be on the board, of course, I was emphatically said yes. But you definitely, if you're not on it, you need to be. It's going to help your business tremendously. Thank you.
Oh, wow. That's great, Shelby. Can I write that down?
Yes.
Oh, I think I have it recorded here. We're good. We're good. Okay, well, that's great. And as Shelby said, it's all about leads. And so for us, what we've done is we've built everything from the advisor down. So we've taken everything that you need, and then we've converted it into our to go back to our suppliers. So we create all the campaigns for the suppliers. We build it, we put it together for them, they approve it, and it gets uploaded into your feeds, as Shelby says, automatically. So we start with dynamic posts, and then they all go to landing pages, which I will show you live at the end of the presentation. We're going to actually go into Shelby's Facebook account, into her Facebook feed rather, and into her BranchUp account, so you can see exactly how it all works live and in action. So we've started out with Facebook, which is a huge success. We've got over 40,000, over 42,000 agents signed up now in North America. So the landing page that we create, which is all supplier information based, it all goes back to you. So the clicks go back to you as the advisor. The branding is all about you. It's your logos, your phone numbers, your website, your face is on this page. And it's the only way your clients will be able to interact with this page is by talking to you about it. So the call to action is all to you. Nice thing is that because we manage all this, and we manage all this with the suppliers, everything that's in your feed is going to be live, active, and current. So there's no, oh my God, that promotion's over, I have to take it off my feed. You don't have to worry about that. We take care of all that for you. So that's more to what Shelby's saying about all being so automatic. We take care of the management of the supplier information on your behalf. Then we evolved and we got into LinkedIn. So now we've got it for free as well. So now we have Facebook for free, and now LinkedIn for free. Same basis, same model. The LinkedIn fees go to your business, so we're hitting another one of your markets. Then we're going to do one more thing for you. So now we've got our newsletter. We send out a newsletter, and it goes out every other week to all of your clients, and it's personalized from you to the travel agent, or sorry, to your consumer, to your client. So it's personalized to the client. We prepare, just like on Facebook and LinkedIn, we do all the copy for you. We create the entire program. You don't have to do anything, but like Facebook and LinkedIn, where you have a chance to edit the text, you can edit this intro, so you can add in your own links, your own touch. You can tell people you've been there, or you've got a group there, or you can interact with the actual newsletters. So it's all built around you and what your needs are. Nope, wrong screen, sorry. So now we've got free Facebook, we've got free LinkedIn, and we've got a free newsletter, sort of capturing all your markets. From there, we're now going to be introducing BranchUp Pro. Now, can't tell you a lot about it right now exactly, but we are introducing Reels on Instagram. So we're going to capture that market as well for you. So currently we're in beta, and we're basically putting together daily. We've created videos for you, short Reels for you that are all engaging, and they're about niche marketing. It's about inspirational travel. It's about, get out and work, get out from work from home and work from Mexico. It's going to be all inspirational posts. So we'll have that coming out in September. So watch for it. You will be, if as a member of BranchUp, you'll be advised when the program's available. So you want to join before we get going, so you can get used to the program, used to BranchUp on the platform before all this comes on board. So we include personalized Reels. We've got personalized Facebook Reels. We're going to be automating the Instagram posts, automated again, just as Shelby was saying earlier, everything's automated. We'll give you the full posting schedule controls. We've got an AI assistant coming on board to create custom posts for you. And we're going to give you a way to actually add custom hashtags to every single one of your posts. And we're going to give you a link to your, we're going to give you the ability to add your appointment link to your landing page on your newsletter and your landing page in your Facebook feed. So we're going to make you a lot smarter and a lot brighter and a lot sooner. So this is really exciting, and we're looking forward to that being launched. And I will show you a demo, but I must apologize. I don't have sound, and that's my fault. I didn't advise Brian and Lewis early enough, but you can see that we've created, this is a version post. So they provide this for us. So go through the whole thing. I'm going to sing, but you wouldn't want that. What happens at the end is we actually put a mask over it, so it gives your travel agent information that we pull from our account. So it's all branded for you, the same as everything we do. It's all about you. It's all branding. So that's going to be coming soon. And just so you know, we at BranchUp, we've taken a look at all of the Facebook. When you put out an ad in Facebook, for example, if you go to over 1 million people, you're going to look at 0.09% engagement, which is pretty standard to good by Facebook feeds because of the number of people. But BranchUp, just so you know, we get an average of 2.8% engagement on our posts. Now, that's because you're talking to people that you know. They're your friends, they're your colleagues, they're the people that you have booked before in advance. So they're all people you know, so we get a higher engagement that way. But what it also does is, because we have such engaging posts, it's great because you now get leads. So when they like or engage, which means they like it, they share it, they comment on it, like, share, comment, and click, then you know who's done this, and you can interact with them. So more leads on your own feed than you would if you put an ad out on Facebook. And again, we're all about leads. That's the whole purpose of our existence, and everything goes back to you. We build it that way on purpose. So we've got some of the top suppliers, changes pretty much every day. And now I'll just go quickly, very briefly, before we get into a live account. I'll just show you how simple this is to sign up, and I swear to you, it takes you approximately, I don't know, Shelby, what do you think?
Oh, God, I would think 10 minutes, maybe 15 if you're really taking your time.
Yeah, it's really simple, and everything you have to fill in, you'll find is for a reason. So it's real simple to sign up. You go to visit BranchUp, you visit BranchUp.com, and then just click on sign up for free. That's your start. Then you're going to go, and we're going to ask you, do you have a business page? Because we can only actually link to your Facebook business page. Facebook will not allow us to link to your personal pages. So if you don't have one now, I suggest you go and sign up and get a business page up and running for many reasons, and as well as for BranchUp. Then we're going to ask you, are you Canadian or US? Obviously, because we have Canadian offers and we have US offers. So we want to make sure we give you the right offers to your feeds and pricing and product availability. So then we ask you, so it's Canadian or are you American? And then there's about 3 pages of profile details. It's not that onerous, it's not that long, but we're going to ask you things like, well, what's your favorite destination to sell? What's your top 3? What's your top 3 types of trips to sell? Now, we ask you all these questions for a reason, and that's because eventually we want to get to a point where, well, this agent said their top destination or their top cruise was river. So we can then focus and target market river cruises just to your feeds. So the more information we get from you, the smarter it makes us, and we're targeted your information will be eventually. So we're just building up this database. But other than that, we're just looking for what's your name, phone number, website, etc. So it's easy information. So now we're going to go into an account. We're going to go into Shelby's account, and we'll start with going into her account. So when she logs in, now Shelby, you're going to help me walk through this a little bit.
Yep.
So you've already filled out all the information in the forms. So I'll just show you real quick what it's about. So Shelby's got her photograph in here, first, last name, email address, phone contact. Key, obviously it has to be current and has to be correct, because this is what's going on all your information, your landing pages, etc. And then the details are just what kind of agency are you? Are you IATA or another license? Your consortia affiliation, your website. So this is all the information that we need for your Facebook page. So that's the type of information we're looking for. Now, Shelby said I had to show you the business card.
Yeah, I love the business card because that's actually what displays on everything. It looks so professional. You can just have whatever your logo is, your picture and your name and your phone number, and it looks perfect, and it goes on all of their email announcements. And also in the next slides that she's going to show you, when they click on something that BranchUp has created and they want more info, boom, that's the information that they get, which is so amazing. It doesn't go back to the supplier, it goes back to you. So the customer's always being led back to you, which in my experience with other auto posting tools, often it'll go back to the actual supplier or the cruise line or the resort instead of going back to you, which is you're the agent, you want that business, that's your lead, right? So I just think this is brilliant and it looks great.
And it gives you a quick bird's eye view of what it will look like. So if you can go in and, change the size of your logo, change your photo, this gives you the opportunity to do it. So just go home again, because so you can see here quickly at a glance, this is your whole account. This is where you'll get your Facebook, your LinkedIn, Instagram, which is coming. Shelby, as being part of the advisor group, is beta testing our pro.
And it's great. We love it.
Thank you. And then also she's a member, she also sends the newsletters out. So she takes full advantage of everything that we offer, right, Shelby?
Yes.
And then when we were on this page, she also said to me, Michelle, don't skip Sherpa.
Yeah, this is such an amazing tool. Look to the right, you see the words visa requirement. Sherpa gives you actually easy access, so you can tell them where what origin, so if they're Canadian or US or whatever, citizenship they are, and where they are going. And this will automatically tell you if there's any visas needed or any vaccinations needed, and any other information that really would be pertinent. And it's all in that one-stop shop right to the right. I just love the Sherpa thing, because these days they're changing things constantly, as we all know. So this is a great added advantage. And again, it's all included and free.
Yeah, normally you'd have to pay for this.
Yeah.
We actually brought it on just as COVID hit, because it was becoming an issue, obviously, for travel, to figure out where you could go, where you couldn't. And then we were looking at it after COVID was kind of dying down after the first couple of years. We thought, you know what, this is still pertinent. So we're going to keep it up, because there's too much information that you can glean from this and share with your clients and make you look smarter again. That's what we're all about. So you can see here, so what we have here is we've got upcoming posts. So you can scroll down for Facebook, scroll down and see what's coming up. And it tells you what day and what time it's going to post in your feed. I'll get more into this detail in a minute. And then it also tells you your top 5 performing posts from the previous week. So that shows you there and who was really hitting the mark. So let's go and look at our Facebook feed. So again, we automatically post everything. So Shelby would come in. I don't know, how often do you come in, Shelby?
I'm really one of those set it and forget it people. I know some people love to do a lot of personalization. I let you guys do the heavy lifting. I come in here probably once a month just to check on things. And obviously I do go back to it if a customer says, oh, I saw this on your page. I scurry back to see what the heck they're talking about. So before I call them, I know.
And when that does happen, she, as she says, she scurries back here. She goes into her Facebook feed or post feed, and then she'll look in published and find the post that was already published. This is usually the quickest way to go find that information.
Yeah.
So she would come in here, but just to take a look at what's happening. So we'll give her the next 2 weeks. Everybody gets the next 2 weeks. You can see exactly what we're going to feed into your Facebook feed. And this can give you a chance at this time, for example, so AMA waterways, here's the content for this is the posts that we're looking at. And then you can go down here to see what the offer is, so that before it hits your feed, which is on August 22. So tomorrow at 12:26, this is going to be in your feed. So you can actually go in beforehand, take a look and say, okay, so that's what they're offering. Got it, understand it, boom, hang up. So go back to your post. So what you can do here is, for example, every post you can edit it. So you can take what we've written for you, all pre-done and approved by the client, by the supplier, and there's always a contact going back to you, but you can add in more. So you can add in hashtags, you can add in your personal, I've been there, we've got a group book. So anything you want to add, this is where you do it, and you click OK.
I like to add a phone number a lot of times. Personally, I don't know if everybody's into that, but I always say you can text me. We do have a business line. I know a lot of agents do run like Google Voice numbers so that they're not giving out their personal cell phone, but that's a great opportunity to do that too.
Perfect. So we get the Carnival one again, and that's, you can see this is what the business card was showing you. This is how your presentation is on your landing page, which again, it's all your branding, contact information right back to you. And then if I go here, I can look down at the bottom, and she's got subscribe to my newsletter. So the newsletter also has a link that you can, when a client sees this, they can click on this and subscribe to TravelBiz Shelby's newsletter. So that automatically, everything's automatic here, automatically goes into Shelby's list. And then the next newsletter we send out on her behalf goes to this client as well. So in addition to the edit, you can also reschedule a post. You can post it immediately, or you can delete a post. Now, if you're deleting a post or a supplier, this is where you can actually, I'll scroll right down to supplier preferences since we're on the supplier. So you can delete a post, or you can go in and manage your entire supplier list. So for example, cruise, we have the different categories: cruise, tour, resort, destinations, other product, inspiration. So here we have, so she's made American Cruise Lines is inactive, Avalon is inactive, et cetera, et cetera. So those suppliers that she doesn't want in her feed will not show up in her feed. So you manage everything from your end as well. We give you the tools and then you take it from there. And this will apply, whatever you've done here in your supplier preferences will also apply to your LinkedIn account, your Facebook account, and your newsletter. So if there's anything in there that is, for example, at Quark Expeditions for Shelby in the newsletter, it won't go into her newsletter either. Okay, so what I'm going to show, so Instagram, sorry, I won't show you. LinkedIn is the same premise. You can edit each of them. You see exactly what day and what time they're being featured in your Instagram accounts. E-marketing app, there's nothing there right now. You won't be able to see it because we sent out a newsletter last week. Oh, but I can show you, let's do the reports. So the reports, I can't show you a newsletter because we've got one going out next week, but we have them going out this week. So let's go e-marketing. So like we tell you, like with everything, so we have how many were sent, how many were opened, how many were clicked, hard bounces, etc. So we manage this all for you and you can go back at any time.
Yeah, I just started testing this out, by the way. So I just started that and it's been going very well. I did it with just a small amount of people so that we could see what the response would be. And you can usually tell by unsubscribes if people don't like what you're sending. And we got 0 unsubscribes. So we'll decide in the next couple of weeks to do more of our database. But I really, really have loved this, and so haven't the guests.
And it also, it shows you who clicked on what. So how many leads you got on certain on the content. So that's also really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have supplier profiles. So if the supplier pops into your feed that you've never seen or heard of before, it happens. We provide the details on that supplier, so you can just jump over there. This is part of the one-stop shopping. Jump over there and okay, we're doing Delta Vacations. Here's the overview. Here's what their products are, product offerings, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Marketing tools. So you've got all this information at your fingertips so you don't have to go searching for it. Also booking tools. So when, again, let's go Delta. So Delta's come on board. You've now gone to see what they're about. Now you're going to click here. And this is how you sign up if you're not already one of their key agents. So everything's handy for you. It's all in your navigation bar, so you can stay on top of it. Let's go back home again. Every once in a while, you get Facebook gets a little antsy, or if you've changed your password, which a lot of people do now, it's everybody's very careful about their social media, so you're changing passwords frequently, which is good news. But what happens with us is when you do that, Facebook kicks you off the system because the password's not valid. So you just have to log in and you go right into here and you'll see where it'll tell you this is disconnected, and you just click on it and you automatically reconnect again. So real easy. We've taken care of all of that as well.
I would like to mention, out of all the platforms I've used, and I mean, I've used probably 30 different platforms being in social media, and this is the only platform that I don't get kicked off of regularly. Like she said, it's only when you're doing a password change, or if something's like a crazy update. But I've only had to reconnect over a 2-year period. I would estimate maybe twice I've had to reconnect for various reasons, maybe 3 times. Whereas all other auto social posting tools, I do all that work to load everything, and then they get kicked out and I have to go back and I have to reconnect. That's the norm, but they have a special connection with Facebook specifically. So that is one of the best things that I found about BranchUp too, is that they don't kick you out, so you don't have to keep reconnecting, because advisors are just so busy. We really don't even have time for that half the time. So that's another benefit of BranchUp to any other social auto posting tool.
Thanks, Shelby. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it reminds me that we at BranchUp have an agreement with Facebook, and we're actually they've allowed us onto the platform. So we have, we're one of the only travel companies that has this kind of kind of association with
Yeah.
Facebook rather.
Yeah, it's evident.
Yeah, so it is really all about the password changes, which is you've got to do it for your security.
Right, right.
So let me just go now to, I'll show you, so Shelby will walk us through a little bit of her strategy behind her Facebook page, which is here.
Yeah, so this is our business page, right? So you do have to have a business page to auto post, and you can always share these posts that you have on your business page to your personal page, or you could copy and paste and just repost something to get a little bit more algorithmic juice. But I always post my own, of course, because I am in the business. So you know, I do these are like actual reels of some of our group singles trips that we book. And if you just scroll down a little bit more, that's mine. And then of course this is today because we are excited about this, Michelle. I just scrolled down a little bit. I think the next one is one of the, oh, we were on TV yesterday. That's a big deal. You guys all deserve to check the Rosen reports. This is for travel agents in general, and it just tells how travel agents are still very, very a super, super great asset to customers. So if you have 3 minutes to watch that, you'll love it, and you can share it with your clients. Move down there, and I think the next one is you. Yeah, so this is one of their auto posting, and you'll see I didn't even touch this one, which is, it's just beautiful, another imagery. And if you scroll down a little bit more, I think the next one is one that has, that's one of mine. And then here, scenic luxury cruises. So this one is an auto post from BranchUp, and if you click this actual image where you can see it's a clickable thing, they have done all of this for me. I mean, it looks so professional. I haven't touched this. They can watch a video if they want, but my phone number is right there front and center. If they want to find out more, they can find out more. If they want to show the itinerary, it's just so incredibly professional. I did nothing to do any of this. This was all done for us. This has been the way it is since the beginning. I just put my business card together and they do everything else. And it's just such a fantastic professional opportunity to get in front of my clients. And then again, if when they click any of these buttons, it goes back to call your travel agent, call Shelby, call Shelby. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful tool. I love it. So Michelle, did you freeze up there? There we go. Yeah. So I hear
Michelle, we may be having some audio issues with your connection.
Yeah. If you want to make it so that you can just walk through it or give me the handles, I can help.
Louis, would you, well, I guess it might be difficult to hand over the controls right now.
Well, let's just talk. Well, maybe she'll come back on, or maybe she needs to, well, I'll just continue to talk while we're trying to get her back.
Perfect.
Yeah, so ultimately, you know, when talking about BranchUp and social media, I give a lot of social media sessions for all businesses, even political campaigns. So they all run pretty much the same. And ultimately, you know, what you're really looking for is a social psychology, and you want to be in front of these people. And we're very busy. I'm also an agent, an agency owner, so I truly understand the difficulties that we have when it comes to doing it all, you know. And I also know that some people they don't like social media that much. They don't really want to get involved with it. It's time consuming. So this is for both people that are good at social, because for someone like me, it just sort of fills in the gaps. And for people that aren't using social at all, they don't want to because they're like, oh, it's just too much. I don't have enough time. At least here, you know, when someone's going to your page, they're going to see that you're active. So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't look like you're not a travel agent, because a lot of times people will just go to your page to check out if you're actually active. Like if you just think about the way you look up people, even if you're looking for a plumber, you're going to go, hey, are they active? Was the last post 2 years ago? I don't want that plumber. What are they doing? So this gives you a great opportunity just to have your professional platform. It's auto posting, auto tools, and that way you have something that looks nice and it has a direct connection right back to you, and they can call you directly. You're not, you're not cut out of the deal, which is so often what happens when we're promoting something. We're cut out of the deal. So this is a great way to come back to connection. And that's what BranchUp's all about. It's by travel agents and by travel agency owners. And they are truly in the business of making sure you keep your clients. They do not want to take your clients. They want you to get the client. That is where their heart comes from. The owner, Mike, he's really passionate about that. And, again, for me, it's a great assistant, but for other people, it's just all they do. They don't even do anything else because they're just not into social. So it's just a no-brainer for me. And I love the fact that it can actually generate leads. I want that for you guys. I want that for all of our agents and this whole entire travel industry. And I like to remind all agents, you are travel influencers. Every agent is a travel influencer. You are the people that influence travel. So don't wait on the sidelines and just let some millennials with kissy photos and bikinis like upstage you. You got to tell people what you're doing. It doesn't have to be the same as anybody else. They want to travel with you. They're connected with you. You are influencing their travel. So make sure you're posting like a travel influencer professionally with these BranchUp tools in addition to your own. Michelle, do we have you back?
Shelby, I think she's still.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Can you hear me now? I can hear you, Shelby.
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Oh, good. Shelby, thank you for that. Oh my God. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you. No,
So
that was great. Thank you very much, Shelby. There's one thing I just want to mention about the posts, and then I'll leave it over the question and answers. But the posts that we post, just so you know, we put up to 3 posts a day, 3 or 4 posts a day for suppliers, and then we have inspirational. So we do 1 inspirational post every single day that has nothing to do with the supplier. There's no business involved in it. It's just somewhere beautiful in the world, like the whale that you just saw in Shelby's account, which I don't dare go over there again. Which is somewhere beautiful in the world to entice and show them that that's the business you're in. You're doing travel. And then the other ones are suppliers, and they're based on deals, of course. So you got the best of both worlds with BranchUp.
yeah, you sure do.
So I think that's it. I'd ask you if you have anything else to say, Shelby, but I think you covered me quite well there. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a team sport, and with the technology these days, it's a team sport.
Yeah, that's wild how that happened. But anyway, so we're all good now, and I think Brian, unless Shelby, you do have anything else today, then I would take it over to question and answers.
Yeah, I would say, you're all welcome to friend me online on any of the social handles that you live on and ask any questions. I'm very passionate about social media because this is what grew my business, and I see so many agents struggling, and it's such an untapped market for some people, and there's little tweaks that you can do, like getting a BranchUp account, that can totally change your business and move the needle. And so I want to see you all do that. And I also believe in abundance. I mean, there's enough travelers for all of us. So I just want to see the industry thrive as a whole, and I honor everything that you guys do. I know how hard it is to be a great agent, and your clients love you for it. Believe me. I always say travel agents, like, we solve problems you didn't even know you had in ways you didn't even understand. So keep on keeping on.
Good stuff. Well said. Well said. Okay, so Brian, over to you.
All right. First off, thank you to the both of you for the wonderful presentation. And I mean, BranchUp has so many incredible ways to help our advisors. It's just always fun to see, and all the new things that you're launching is amazing. So I've got a lot of great questions, but I do want to start out with a couple for Shelby. So Shelby, now you mentioned that you kind of are like a set it and forget it for your Facebook business page, but that's not the same with other social media. So can you just kind of give us an understanding of, right, because I know you're big in social media, sort of how BranchUp fits into the rest of your social media strategy?
Well, I think I'm answering your question correctly, but stop me if I'm not. Basically, I use BranchUp as an assistant, let's say. So I still post regularly. I love social. I want to make sure
on your business page.
On all of my pages, on my
Okay.
business page, on my personal page. If I see something I like from a business page that's been auto posted by BranchUp,
Mm,
I'll actually copy and paste it and put it into my personal page, because sharing is not as high of an algorithmic juice as actually posting it originally. So if I really like it, I will share it, maybe a picture or the phrasing. I personally still work social in an old-fashioned way, in a sense of doing it by hand, because I like to tag people and I like to tag businesses that are going to collaborate with me.
okay.
So that's how I function. But I'm not at the same level as a lot of agents, and you don't have to be at my level to get to move the needle. So personally, for me, I do everything organically, and then I also have auto posting tools. But that's me, and I wouldn't say I'm not the norm. I've been in social since the inception, since it was invented. So I'm definitely not the norm. And I just want to make sure that we give people the tools like this that they can easily do it. And then a good idea to copy after instead of just create. So a lot of times when you have a post that BranchUp auto posts and it does well, and you're like, wow, why did that post do so well? It's a good idea to take a look at that and say, how could I replicate this again? Because my people liked this,
Mhm.
that's always a good thought to have as well.
Okay, no, that's great. And I definitely really love the tip about the algorithm juice, because that's really important. Uh,
Yeah, it is. Well, they change it all the time too. So, you got to stay on top of it, but you can't be a slave to it either. You just got to do the work. You got to show up.
yeah.
I'm presenting at the Boca Chamber this week, and one of the things that I think is helpful for any of these agents that are listening, I tell the Boca Chamber, it's kind of like when you walk into a chamber event, you don't just shove your card in front of someone's face and be like, buy from me, right? You naturally try to build a rapport with people. You ask questions. What do you do? Where do you live? Do you have any kids? These are just normal social behaviors that start rapport with people. And then after a while, these people get to know you, and then they want to do business with you, because people want to do business with people that they know and like. And the same thing should be thought about on social media, where you're not just going, hey, book this. Hey, I'm selling this. Book this. Buy from me. You want to create rapport. So you ask a lot of questions. You should be going to people's, pages and asking some questions and saying, happy birthday. How are you? How's your business going? And so trying to think about social media more like a social atmosphere rather than just a pitch deck. And that's how you can build rapport. But it takes a lot less time to say, hey, how's it going, to 5 people when I'm in Messenger on social media, or if I'm on their pages, than it does to go to 5 events. So you can kind of replicate yourself when you're on social media, but the same principles should really apply. You should try to connect and build rapport on social media. And then you have BranchUp, which is like an assistant marketer for you and a marketing arm for you.
Beautiful. Excellent. Michelle, question for you. In terms of the posts, well, you know what? 2 questions for you. And let me start with the more basic question. Let's say an advisor wants to get set up. Is there somewhere or somebody that they can reach out to help them set up at BranchUp?
Yeah, but honestly, you don't need any help setting it up. It's that intuitive. You just walk right through it. If you have trouble, we have an info or a question mark on every single page. Just click on it, and you can go straight into our help desk, and somebody will be right on top of you.
Perfect. All right. Now let's question about the posts themselves. And please, just to clarify for everyone, and I'm sure you've mentioned it, but this is important to clarify. Any posts that go up from BranchUp, the click through, the call to action, it's always going to go to that advisor's page, right? It's never going to go directly to the supplier.
Never, absolutely.
Right.
We do all the curating of all the posts to make, or all the supplier campaigns to ensure that very thing.
Awesome. And
And
Stella,
as Shelby
sorry, go
pointed
ahead.
out on your landing page, you can see very clearly it's your logo, your pictures, your phone numbers, your website, your Instagram. So it's all about you. It's all we do.
Excellent. And we have a question here from Stella, so I think it just is worth clarifying. So many of Stella's clients are international, outside the US and Canada. And Stella was wondering if you have options to attract or engage them. This is going through Facebook, so that's borders are no issue, correct?
Yes, except that the offers that we're putting into your feed automatically are only for, they're based in US or Canadian suppliers. So if you're sitting over in England, you just have to keep that in mind, that we're not supplying information that they could necessarily book
Well,
unless England.
there would be a conversion rate and.
Right. Right. It would be USD or Canadian dollar as opposed to
Right.
euro or
Yeah.
choose your currency. So, but they could still book it. It's just a matter of how they're actually going to pay for it and what the conversion is.
Oh, sure. So if her feed has Europeans on it, of course they get it, but you just have to keep that in mind when you're featuring it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Next question. For the newsletter, can you, and this is for Michelle again, sorry. Michelle, can you just kind of give us a better, or just refresh us on the newsletter and sort of how that's going to help add to, your business and help add to your reaching out and pushing? Like, what's the main benefit of the newsletter that you guys offer?
Well, you have to be everywhere. There's no one-shot solution, right, Shelby?
Yeah, that is correct. I tell people you need to be everywhere and then spend the most of your time. I use the word live, where do you spend the most of your time? Where you get the most conversions. So for example, for me, I have a profile absolutely everywhere because I want to be wherever they live. So they may live on TikTok. I want to be on TikTok, but I don't live there because I don't make a lot of sales there. I live on Facebook because that's where my sales come from. And so I spend most of my time there. You want to be present, but you only have so much time, right? Most agents are independent agents. Most people they're marketing, they're accounting, they're everything, So you only have so much time. So you can't kill yourself over it. You spend most of your time in the spot where you get the most conversions and where your demographic lives. And there's a lot of information on that at a later date we could go over, or you can message me. But you want to be present everywhere. And BranchUp is expanding now too to Instagram, which is great. But we don't want to talk about the pro because that's in beta and that's exciting.
Sounds really exciting. I love it.
Yeah, it's really just capturing all your different markets. So LinkedIn is one market, Facebook is another market, and then your friends and colleagues on your email list, they may not be your friend, they may not have checked you off on Facebook, or they may not be following you on LinkedIn. So it's just a different market. So you want to be on all markets, and it's all different products. So everybody's seeing a different product from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with the both of you more in terms of making sure you're across all platforms. And I'm personally a big fan of LinkedIn, so happy to see that you guys are getting there.
Yeah, and LinkedIn is such an unsung hero with the travel industry. I always tell my agents, especially if it's any new agents on here that are struggling, LinkedIn is one of the best profiles to sink your teeth into, because just think about the demographic that you have. You have mostly busy professionals or people that want to be busy professionals. So those are the type of people that need a travel agent in the worst way. They actually value your time. They're not there, trying to cross-reference every single thing you give them for a bid or for a hotel price. They're like, great, get it done, and so that's a fantastic network to be in. I have seen some agents that just live on LinkedIn and they have their whole businesses is all just about busy professionals, serving busy professionals. And that's not done anywhere near enough. So if no one's thought to do it and you haven't really dug your teeth into any social marketing, you might want to just focus there, because that's a fantastic way to get the right demographic surrounding you. And at that point, it's a numbers game, but you're in good shape.
Yeah, and it's also
no question about that. Like you are on point. I'm sorry, Michelle, did you have something to say?
no, I just get also not only individual travel but small groups, people traveling on business as small groups or incentive travel. So there's different opportunities within the same.
Yes, it's always fantastic when you get a group. Yay, it's exciting. Replication, duplication.
All right, let's talk about Reels for a second. So Deborah Smart wanted to know if the Reels for Facebook and Instagram are going to be free as well, included in the service.
No, there will be a charge for that, and there's more coming out on that later.
All right, so more to come, Deborah. Stay tuned. We'll be in touch.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the reels, again, so can Instagram reels be cross-posted to Facebook too, once you do the Instagram reel through BranchUp, or is it two separate? Have you worked that out yet?
No, they're right. We're starting with Instagram, but it will move over to Facebook as well.
Got it. Okay, perfect. All right. So Shelby, tell us a little bit about how you curate the posts, right? So there are tons of suppliers that are working with BranchUp. So I mean, the options are almost limitless. But what is it? What's the kind of criteria that you're using? Do you do it by season? Do you just do it by sort of, level of supplier? Like, how are you?
Yeah, that's a great question.
curating?
So because I've been using this for a couple of years, actually, I think it's more like 2 or 3, but anyway, I at first did not have as many on active as I do now because I didn't know the products. So I've worked on cruise ships for like a decade and been on 500 cruises, but some of the products I hadn't known at all. So I didn't really want it to go out there because I wasn't sure about the product and I just didn't have time to learn it. So in the beginning, I turned, probably half of them on that I knew very well, so that I knew that if anybody had a question, I could answer it, and I knew I was registered with them, and I figured, I knew I could sell that product. Now I do a little differently. Now I'm pretty familiar with every product since owning the agency for 5 years, and I feel like I actually try to turn on what's most popular and what's most luxury. And the reason for that is just obvious, is because it takes me the same amount of time to book a cruise or a resort that's $10,000 as it does that's $2,000, and I make 4 times the profit. So for me personally, at this stage of the game, I can be picky like that. But again, this has been 20 years in the making, so I like to remind people, like, don't compare yourself to where I'm at. The comparison is the thief of joy. I've been working my way up, for 15, 20 years. That's where I'm at. But in the beginning, I would take anything that walked, and you just get your chops wet, but I think it's nice to know a little bit about the product. You don't want to, if you get too many questions about something you're totally unfamiliar with, it's a little jarring and people are generally juggling quite a bit. So that's the way I, discovered what I like to stay active and what's inactive on my supplier page.
No, I appreciate that insight. And just to one of Shelby's points, if you do keep, more suppliers than you work with currently on, and you do get an inquiry, you can always click, go into your page, into the portal and BranchUp and kind of get all the information.
Yeah, and that wasn't the case many years ago when we started. So that's a new involvement as well. So that's absolutely a great point.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously, tons of places to get yourselves educated otherwise, but I think it's important to realize that it's it could be to your benefit to widen your net, if you will.
It absolutely is. Make the top of the sales funnel, as we say, make it as wide as possible. And, as Richard Branson says, don't just say yes and figure it out, and every travel agent I've ever met is one of the most brilliant multitaskers that can just get the job done no matter what. I think they should be leading the country. So I would say just say yes, broaden the net, and get those people in your sales funnel and figure it out. I know you can.
Yeah, and I'll just bring up one other point that's still true. It's been true for years. It's still true this day, almost to the dollar, 80-20. So 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your customers. So the more customers you have, the more business you'll get. It's just math. Yeah. So you need to keep adding and adding as many possibilities, many avenues, many platforms as you can to get out there, as Shelby says, and just be everywhere. Live in Facebook, but be everywhere, because 80-20 every time.
Yeah. And then referrals, always ask for referrals. It's such an oldie but goodie. You'd be so surprised. People love to recommend things, and even if they're not traveling or they don't have the funds or time or whatever, if they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they probably have a friend that travels, and people love to recommend people. So don't forget to ask them to recommend you. And you can do that on social media, but you can also do it in person. And that's a great way to increase your book of business.
I love it. Well, listen, there's a lot of other amazing questions and comments that continue to come in here as we have our conversation. Unfortunately, we are at the end of our hour. Michelle, I do want to ask you one last question. So we're in beta for Pro. When do we think it's officially going to roll out, or what's the timeline? Hopeful timeline.
We're looking at September.
Okay, so soon.
Soon
Very
coming,
soon.
very soon. Yeah.
Considering we are through August here. Okay. Well,
But you have to be a member of BranchUp to get it. You know that, right?
I didn't. Now I know, and hopefully everyone else knows. So go sign up for BranchUp, play around with it. It's free, guys. There's no harm, no foul. If you don't like it, don't use it. Go try it. It's amazing. We at TMR absolutely love the platform. So I unfortunately have to say it's time for us to wrap it up. I do want to take one moment very quickly to congratulate the winner of the $300 gift card. Congratulations to Stella Bolden, Bouldin. If I didn't pronounce your name right, I'm sorry. Congrats, Stella. You have a couple weeks of the summer left to use your $300 gift card, so I hope you use it for something fun and not school supplies or anything for the kids. And I just wanted to just thank Michelle and Shelby for an amazing presentation and a great conversation. It's been really enlightening to not only hear from Michelle about everything that's happening, but from Shelby's standpoint, from an actual advisor who's using it and loving it. So thank you both very much for today. We really appreciate you coming on.
No, and thank you, Shelby. I really appreciate your time as well.
We're so thankful for the whole platform. So thank Michael. Thank Mike. We appreciate it very much. And TMR, you guys are awesome. You guys gave me my start, by the way, a couple of years back. You did a little article and that started a whole big thing. So I want to thank you guys as well. You're giving back all the time to the agents. It's amazing.
Wow.
I love to hear that. Thank you for that, and happy to hear it. So thank you to all of our advisors that took the time to spend with us today. I'm sure that this was a well-spent hour for you. Last reminder, we're going to send you a recording to the webinar, so you can always go back and catch on anything that you may have missed. So thank you very much. We hope you all have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of the week. And most importantly, enjoy the last few weeks of summer. September's coming quickly. Bye-bye. See everybody soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.